Everybody. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how I make some of my presentations into videos and how I drop them into YouTube. The first thing that I do is I create a lot of my images in the Comic Life app. And I do this through the single panel blank template. That way, when I post them as a background in Google Slides, it's a nice landscape. Okay. So I'm not going to go over Comic Life and how to use that today, but you can definitely still continue with this video using Google Slides. So here's just a blank presentation, and if I wanted to make a background image, okay, I would go to background and then choose image. I'm going to go through one that's already on my computer. Okay. That'll upload. I'm going to set done, and it goes and it fills up the whole page. That's going to be important because when we record this later and we go into present mode, it will record the whole screen really nicely, and it'll show up nice for your kids that are watching. So you can do that and keep inserting slides. Some of the movable images, the GIFs that I use, I am going to plug another website, cbhpe.org/GIF collection. So if you're ever looking for movable images, you can go through here, this web page. They have some really great resources for whatever category that you're looking for. A lot of the ones that I've been using so far have been exercise based. And when you go into their Google folder, just make sure that you make a copy of that image. Okay, so let's say we wanted to do that. We wanted to insert an image. Once we make a copy, it goes right to your drive. Okay, hopefully some show up in my recents. I'm going to go to, yep, okay, I have a copy here. So I just click it and drag it. And so as you are presenting to your students, it will move. Another thing that people often ask is how I get the timer into my presentations. So really it's not a timer that I made, it's something that comes from YouTube. So you're going to go to insert, you're going to put video, and then in the search box that comes up, you're going to type in however long the timer is that you need. So if you need a 15-second timer, I'm going to type 15-second timer, see what comes up. And sometimes you have to be careful because if you only want that 15 seconds, you don't want to pick the interval timer, okay? Because as you can see, this is 31 minutes long. So we're going to look for something. We're going to scroll down just a little bit more. And I'm going to go with this 15-second countdown timer with a buzzer. Okay, once I've highlighted it, I'm going to click select. It will come up, and you can resize it as you want. What's nice is here you can click this auto play when presenting. That's going to be important because as you're recording it, you're going to want this timer to just start on its own. Okay, so I'm going to click that. Alright, so this is a project that I've been working on, and I'm going to record it later today, but you can see once you go to QuickTime here and you do your screen recording and get it to full screen, and this is kind of what your screen will look like when you go to, the screen recording part of it. So you'll do the new screen recording. Then you'll get this icon, and you'll click the red button, and it will take you to the full screen part, which is here. And then you'll click the middle of the screen where it says click to record full. You're going to present it as your students would want to see it in video style. So I usually have to double click. Okay, so once you're recording, You'll have to just kind of time it how you want your lesson or your video to go. It makes it easier when you're working in iMovie. So I usually give, like for the first slide, about 15 to 20 seconds. Here's what autoplay for the video looks like. You can see it's already started. I would normally, if this were the real video, I'd let it go down to 0, but I want to show you what the GIFs or movable images would look like. Okay, looks pretty clean, looks really good. And then once we get it in iMovie, we can edit it and put some sound to it. You've recorded your screen in the way that you want it and the way that you want your students to see it. Then we're going to work on it in iMovie. Okay, and when you go to create new, so these are some of the videos that I've already made, but when you go to create new, it's going to give you two options. You're either going to have like a blank canvas or a blank slate to work with, or they have these really cool trailer features which makes it really easy to drop in. I personally like working from just a blank slate, so I'm going to click on just a regular movie. Okay, so in here there's really no media to work with. I'm going to import it. Okay, and for this I've cut it up into steps. Right, so what you'll be watching later, you'll be able to see. So now it's up here. I want to drag it into my movie. Okay, once it's highlighted yellow, you can really like shorten the video if you need to. There we go. I can pull and shorten it, and I can see on the screen up here, that's what it would look like. Right, and that's my voice. Okay, but I'm going to leave it full like that. Okay, and if let's say this was my whole presentation, right, and I didn't need to edit or like trim it up at all, what I can do then is go to audio. Now here you have to be really careful. I have some iTunes stuff that I would play for my students in class, but when you're posting a video to YouTube, you have to make sure that it is copyright friendly. Okay, so and there's really you can just YouTube like copyright free songs. Here's one that I've downloaded. But when you do that, you just click, pull, and you're going to drag underneath the video. Okay, and you can always like move this to where you want it to start or end. Okay, now if I go like the middle here, where you see these two arrows that pop up where it says adjust volume, if I notice that maybe it's just a little too loud, I can either pull it down, let's say it at 79%. So if we watch it, okay, and same thing, I'm going to delete this for a second so we don't listen to it, but if my video has sound, I have those two arrows again, and if I want to make my low, kind of Barry White monotone voice a little bit louder, I would pull and drag that up a bit. Okay. All right, there's lots of other things that you can do within iMovie. I'm not going to go through that today, but when you're done, this is kind of something I found is a little easier. Let's say my whole project is done, and let me go to one of my projects. Just save that as my movie. Okay, let's go to this one where it's all done. Okay, when I want to like start to upload this, I'm going to go to the top right corner where it says share. Now what I've found is dropping the file in iTunes rather than going straight to YouTube. This is so much faster. If I try and just drop it into YouTube, for whatever reason, for my computer, it takes twice as long. So I drop it into iTunes and it comes up as an MP4 file. Okay. So let me see if I can find that. I'm going to go to my Finder, show you what it would look like as an MP4. Where's Jaco? Let's see. Type in MP4, see what comes up. Let's try another one. Sometimes it's hard finding it. If I go to maybe this Mac, let's see. Oh, there we go. Here's a file that I worked on that went right to an MP4. Okay, so when you're uploading to YouTube, you would just, when you're in Studio, that's the file that you would just drag in. And it makes it really seamless, really easy. But I find like editing it in iMovie and using the Google Slides it just makes it very easy. So hopefully you found this informative, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me or just shoot me a message on Twitter.